And good morning from Scotty, Ray, and Candace. It is Tuesday, and we all know what today is.
What is it, Scotty Ray?
It's Go Vote Day.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And we've waited for how many times for this day to go away?
Look, I think I'm worn out. I am worn
Everybody is.
out from just worrying about it and watching the news. I feel like my TV has been on nothing but Fox or something, and it's all about the election.
That you can't hardly find a news story that doesn't just circle around this in some kind of way of somebody's mad, somebody's doing this, and their predictions that probably aren't right.
Right.
As they dig into the counties and decide how many votes have already been cast and who's not going to count their votes that night and wait till the next day.
Yeah. I don't understand. I mean, why can't they go ahead and count what they have? Can they not do that?
They don't want to, I don't think. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, we don't want to wait.
Because, well, I know, and that was Trump's thing where they were all trying to push this to where, like, in normal years, you count them that day.
Yeah, because I think they worry about fraud.
Yeah.
Like, as it drags on,
One of the fights were, in most cases, it has to be postmarked that day to count. And there were in one of the states, it gets extended 6 days.
Yeah.
And I don't know about all that.
Well,
show up and vote.
That's right. Go vote, no matter what you think. People have said, about, it's so-and-so's got it in the bag. You never know.
No, you don't.
It's like they said, act like your vote is the only vote that counts.
That's right.
And so, because in some instances, it might, you never know.
In small towns, it is definitely that way. When you're voting for town alderman,
right?
And there ain't but 12 of y'all still live in the town that showed up to vote.
That's right. And when it's all said and done, just remember this. If you don't like the outcome and you didn't vote, you have no room to talk.
But they always do.
I know. Everybody's going to complain, but you really ain't got nowhere to complain.
That's right.
If you did not even participate in voting, if you could. No.
Right. And also today's another big day that it just hit me just a few moments ago. It's me and Angie's 30th anniversary today.
Well, congratulations on that. 30 years is a big milestone.
Is it?
It is.
Okay. It just come to me out of nowhere when I was thinking about the date and what all I had to do. I was like, whoa. 30 years ago, at this point, I was at the, getting ready to go to the Opryland Hotel, and Britt and Scott were playing in the lounge of the Opryland Hotel. If you wanted to know where Scott McQuigg and Britt Gully was 30 years ago.
Well, that's great, though. I think 30 years is great,
Long time.
Marriage. It is.
So, do I get a statue? What I get?
No, you better go get.
Well, I'm on.
If you ain't already got.
I ain't already got, because it just ding donged on me of what it was, and I mean,
something nice.
Seriously, I mean, after 30 years, you've got what you want. There's not like.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you should have a handwritten card.
I do that every year, and then those boo-boos that I do where I don't have my glasses and I come home for my favorite husband, and I've done that 3 times.
What do you do? Mark out husband and put one?
Well, I didn't know it. Now I would sign my name, hand it to her, and she doesn't. I don't know until she goes to read it and starts laughing.
My
and
Lord!
I have done that. Don't go in there without your glasses and buy a card. Is all I can tell you, because it turns out really bad.
That's right, and don't try to text anybody without your glasses.
Are you making reference to me?
No, I'm making reference to me. I can't see. I'm serious. Like, I have to have my glasses to even cut hair now. I mean, that's how bad it's gotten.
So don't sit in the chair unless you got the
glasses.
glasses.
That's right. If I ain't got my glasses or getting somebody's eyebrows waxed, you don't want me waxing your eyebrows if I don't have my glasses, because you won't need eyebrows waxed for a long time.
Speaking of, and I'll close after this, but have you seen that thing on Facebook where they change the guy's face and they're waxing his armpits and he screams?
Are you talking about the husband and wife?
I don't know. Angie just showed me the thing.
Oh, my gosh.
They jerk it off of him and it hurt. It's burning.
We watched some videos. There's this husband and wife on Facebook, and they do all kind of crazy little skits and stuff, or little videos. And one of them was her waxing him. I mean, waxed his armpits, waxed his legs, his arm. It's the funniest dang thing. It's so funny. It's so funny.
I'd just like to point out I've never had anything waxed. Don't plan on it either. Coming up, we're going to take a look at your news. But next, we've got your weather. What's happening with Etta? Is that how you say her? Etta?
Yeah, I think so.
Category 4. Woohoo! That's on the way next here with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. And off to the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville we go to find out what bargains they've got this week. Well, if you haven't heard, they've got those 5-pound bags of grapefruit for $3.39 today. Also, you can pick up on the sweet potatoes, 49 cents a pound, and you've got the bell peppers, which is great for cooking, adding in there those red, yellows, and orange for $1 a piece. You can get the Bush chili beans. They're $1.19 for that 16-ounce can. And the Heinz tomato ketchup, 2 for $4. Easy to handle there. As we go into making sure you're ready for breakfast, the Hungry Jack syrup, yep, 2 for $6 there, along with the Jet Puffed marshmallows, $1.29. Now, also steaks this week. You can get those T-bone steaks for $8.99 a pound for the family pack. And you can get the Jimmy Dean bacon, the 12-ounce size there, for $3.29. Love bacon. Just can't get enough of it. And if you're going to be doing some cooking with chicken tenders, $6.99 for that 2-pound pack of the Top Chick breaded. That's what's going on there. And, of course, drinks, Coca-Cola products, those 12-ounce cans, 2 for $9. You can get that and so many more great deals that weren't even mentioned there at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. A short drive there to visit our friends and save yourself some money. Again, as we said, today is Election Day, and as you're waking up on Election Day, what is outside? Frost. And it's not just thin stuff, it's pretty thick. Me and the dogs were outside investigating just a few minutes ago. Make sure you go outside, warm your car up a few minutes early to get it off windshield, make sure you're safe where you're going. As we pull up what the National Weather Service tells us, being brought to you by, of course.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And they're always there to help you. And as we go back to take a look here, we've got frost this morning, as I mentioned. To the north of us, when you get into the Macon area, that is elevated, so it's going to be a little bit thicker there. Macon, you get up into Winston County, all through there, Kosciuszko, and those areas. The Meridian area is limited. Mid-30s is what we got into last night, and it is frost on the windshield. Goes south, far south is Clark County into Jasper, and a little bit there of Jones County back over to Vicksburg this morning. So as I said, make sure to warm up that vehicle and get that off. Now, there is a chance of wildfire conditions that takes in part of Kemper County and Neshoba County, all of Newton and Lauderdale County and Clark and back westward. Take precautions. Don't throw things out. Don't be burning things because it can get away from you quick when things are dry. Our temperatures are going to stay in the 70s for the most part for the next 10 days, so be careful. It's not a lot of rain mentioned at all this week, so it could catch on. We don't need any wildfires, not here in the state of Mississippi, do we? Nothing else. As we look at those temps, as I said, it's going to stay warm for the next 10 days. We'll watch that. Now, again, warm for us here is in the 70s. Not supposed to be getting into the 80s or 90s. That's the good news to that story. As we look at storm potentials for today, where could it happen? Out in Arizona, Nevada, and Utah is where we've got the potential for that. Some rain going up in Washington. I'm not headed there. We do have some frost advisories there across Alabama and Georgia and North Carolina and those areas. Some warmer weather there. All right, as we look at our forecast locally, what is it calling for today? We're going to have those areas of frost this morning. That'll be burning off after 8:30 or so this morning. Otherwise sunny with that high reaching right at the 70-degree mark. It won't be too bad. Tonight, not as cold, 42 for that low. Tomorrow we'll be back with 72 for a high. We'll get down to 71 for a high on Thursday, and Friday we'll end the week with 74. So we're definitely 70s all week. No mention of rain, and that's why that wildfire thing is brought up, not to burn and jump things out. There's not a burn ban at this point. It's just conditions are possible for that. That's where we are on that. Let's see here what else we've got going on today. The election, as we said, are opening up this morning at 7 o'clock. Safe, get there. They'll be there through 7 o'clock. And again, that sample ballot that is out there, just like it was, that's what she looks like. The two different things that are on here are about the House resolution getting rid of whether you want to have the amendments made to the governor to where they can vote on the majority of the representatives, and then we've got the House bill to make that the new flag. So see what you think about that. So those are the two odder ones on there, and also voting on marijuana, 65 or 65A, or don't vote for them at all. Those are, almost didn't get that last one, did I? But that's out there on the sample ballot this morning. Make sure to cast your vote before it's all said and done today. Coming up, we'll take a look at your extended forecast and all that. But next, we're going to get back and we're going to have your local headlines and some news with Candace joining us next.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we get to rolling on this election day. And again, this will probably be the last thing that you see today that isn't about the election, total 100%. We'll try to cheer you up a little bit to get you away from thinking what's going to happen.
Yeah, if you're exhausted with it like I am, I mean, anything new will be a treat.
How late do you plan on staying up tonight just to see what happens?
I'll probably stay up till whenever. I mean, I won't go to sleep until... But
you get a feel? Yeah,
until I kind of know which way it's headed towards. But I guess you really don't know if they're not going to count them all.
But it's not every state doing that.
Yeah.
It's just and it could get to states that are counting them, and then those states really don't even matter anymore.
Well, I think Pennsylvania is one of the big ones that they said will not have them counted, and that's one of the big ones that really matter.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I won't go to sleep, though, probably at all. I usually stay up and watch it all night. You know.
The map that I put on Facebook yesterday is 2016 electoral votes, how the votes were casted. Red is for Donald, the other was for Hillary, and that's the states. He had 306 last time, and so you can kind of go by that and scratch off and see which way it's going. And if he loses one and it's a big number on it, something to be worried about.
I think Georgia is one that they're watching.
16.
They're watching pretty heavy.
They say that, but in reality, because I even listened to Rush on that, and he goes, if you get within a day of it and they start going, well, it's closer than they think.
Yeah.
And they're saying that now.
Okay.
So Donald probably has Georgia.
I hope so. I mean, I hope,
And I think North Carolina will go with Donald Trump also. Your Michigan, that's questionable.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think didn't he rally there yesterday?
Oh, he's been all up in that
he's
stomping.
been at it. I'm talking about.
Any man that can do 5 of those in a day, still run a country.
Well, and all of his kids in different areas too.
I mean, he's
campaigning, for him. So
it's tough.
Yeah.
So as we go to other things to get your mind off of that, let's think about. Well, let me see here. Let me pull up this first thing here. Yeah, let's do the squirrel first.
Yeah.
And let me drag this over here so we can play this. Everybody loves a good squirrel. You watch them in your backyard; they chew up things. And let's pull this up. This is where is it?
I'm surprised the cat didn't want to eat him for.
Now, if you'll see, this is the squirrel in the background. Yeah, the cat pays him no attention, but here he is. He comes to the door supposedly every day to get a peanut from this guy, and here it is. And start. Pretty cool.
Would you like another peanut? That's nice and big.
Ooh.
And the old squirrel got what he wanted, and off he went. So
That was cute, though.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
squirrel taking care of business there. That's one of the things. You ever get that close to a squirrel?
No, not a squirrel, but I did have a hummingbird this year caught in the feeder. I don't know how it happened, but he got, where they sit around the edge to drink.
Yeah.
Somehow or another, he got his wing caught down in the area between the feeder and the little thing he was sitting on. He was stuck. I had to get him out of there, and then I held him in my hand. It was kind of like he was stunned for just a second, and then he flew off. But that was neat. That was kind of neat.
Now, we don't get a lot of snow here whatsoever. And the next thing, and again, I had to look high and low to find stories that just really didn't depress you to no end today, because I got one of them still to come.
Yeah.
But we don't get a lot of snow in Mississippi. Occasionally we do, but if we ever do, if you're shoveling snow, be careful, because people will try to run over you.
Oh, yeah.
This is posted, I forget what state it was from, but this guy's out shoveling his yard, and a car loses control. Here he is. Here comes the car.
Can you imagine if he'd had his back turned
Oh,
and not looking?
It'd been all
He'd
over.
have been history.
It takes him, look at him, it's taken him a few minutes to get up after that.
Oh, yeah. He's probably having a heart attack over there. I'm serious. Like, it would scare me to death.
Speaking of, I don't know if you've seen I don't know if it was FedEx or which one it was of the guy that goes to deliver the package, and he goes to step up on the porch and he falls down.
Yeah, and he keeps falling down. That
lays
is funny.
there,
That's
then-
funny, yeah. Yeah.
And it happens in the most embarrassing times in life that you can't take them back.
Oh, I've had my share of slip downs. Like, I slipped down in the middle of the... And 3 times I had my son on my hip. And he didn't...
Did you drop him?
No, I never dropped him. It's a wonder I didn't break a hip myself. But I was going down through the mall one time and didn't see the caution sign. They had just stuck it in front of me, like just stuck it there. Just turned around right at the moment I fell and slipped down. Somebody had come out of Bath and Body Works or whatever it was and had some oil or something that they dropped and it busted. And when my foot hit it, I'm talking about, I didn't stumble.
It just flopped.
I just, boom, hit the ground. It was so embarrassing.
And you can't take it back.
Oh, no. It was embarrassing.
And there's always going to be somebody you know that saw it. Well, how do you feel? And if you were to put me on a jury stand, I could not tell you one thing that Lady Gaga does. I just know the name. Doesn't she have some clothes too? A clothesline?
I'm not sure about the clothes, but
I'm not
the only part clothes that I know, I think she had a dress made of meat.
She did. That's probably what I know her
One
from.
year, yeah. She's real out there about everything.
She's gone to campaigning though,
okay.
and guess whose side she's on? Can you guess?
I just wonder.
Yeah, yep. Now this is taken from The View, a snippet of the commercial. It's plenty of them out there, but I wanted you to hear what she said because it's making a lot of Americans mad of the way she done this.
Take a look.
Hey, this is Lady Gaga. I'm voting for America, which means I'm voting for Joe Biden. And if you live in Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, Florida, or Arizona, I encourage you to vote. And if you have a friend that lives there, tell them to vote. Cheers to the 2020 election.
You know, that reminds me so much of Elizabeth Warren going, oh, wait, let me get a beer.
Yeah.
And
to me, that's so tacky.
It's very tacky. Most folks are saying that it's making fun of rural America. And the way she's dressed.
Well,
the way
I
she
don't
does
know
the
if she
beer.
thinks those boots go with that camouflage, but
It ain't matching, is it?
No, it is not.
Was that knee pads on that too?
I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know if it's like motorcycle riding. I don't know what that is. But she's kind of made a fool out of herself, I think.
But celebrities really think that we care about the way they're going to vote, and they think they have this influence. Even Taylor Swift thinks that now. She's really political.
I mean, nothing they say or do will sway me in one way or the other.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. But
over the last 48 hours, there's been a terror attack in Austria. That's one of the things that are going on. Different things that just aren't good in America. We've got America boarding up the White House, and I'll have a picture of it in a minute. They're boarding up these big cities. They're boarding up all the things so people can't tear up things. This is one of the things, why somebody would compare this, I don't know. The Boston Globe, a writer there, is comparing Trump supporters to ISIS.
that is so ridiculous.
And if you'll see there, it has the flags and the trucks, and then they're showing ISIS. And he goes, "What's the difference?"
Yeah, I think if the other side had as many supporters that were out like that, it would not be an issue at all.
You're absolutely right.
I just think that.
But that ought to make you mad. And the censorship that America has now is just totally out of hand.
I mean, to me, what compares to ISIS is, I don't know, was it what movement was that where they had, it was that they were coming down a street like a big militia type thing. They had guns. They were stopping cars. They were saying they were
several of those.
Yeah, well,
It's
this was like a
Antifa.
yeah. Well, it was horrible. I mean, to me, because they were threatening people.
Absolutely.
They were stopping them in the road and threatening them. And as far as I know, I don't think there's been the threats. I mean, they're just...
We need law reestablished in America.
Right. It needs to be
whoever's
some
messing
boundaries
up.
set.
It doesn't matter politically who you are. If you do wrong, you're wrong.
Right.
As we go to our next story, the White House, I mentioned that. This is what's happening there. They are putting up a fence all the way around the White House to make absolutely sure nobody can scale it and jump on the grounds of it tomorrow night. We shouldn't even have to do that. That's never been done in another...
You shouldn't have to do it. I mean, it's just, people have lost their minds.
Yep.
I mean...
Now, depending upon how the election turns out tomorrow, will these folks actually be leaving the United States? And of course, what's his name? That little singer guy, him and his wife. She's on the...
I cannot think of his name.
John Cryer?
John
Lennox, John somebody?
Legend.
Legend.
I'm sorry, I drew a blank.
And then, of course, we know Tommy Lee over here, and then the boss.
I can't believe the boss now.
He sure said it.
I mean...
And then...
he's sung Born in the USA.
Martin,
he's gonna leave.
yeah.
Yeah, really.
Tony Martin, is that his name, Martin?
Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin. I was close. I mean...
Yeah.
But they've all said that they're leaving should Trump get reelected.
Well.
Yeah, nobody from last time actually did that.
I'm not gonna cry if any of them leave. I mean, I'd just be,
Yeah.
they need like a big train and just load them all on it
Say,
at
"Come
the
on."
same time.
Forfeit your property and
Right.
go by. But that's a look at it. Tomorrow, we should know kind of where we're headed. It may be weeks. If you remember back in 2001, it was 36, 37 days before it was officially. Now, George W. was declared the winner that night, but it was not official for 36, 37 days until they got those chads worked out
the
back in
hanging
Florida.
chads.
Yeah. Golly, who
Now, that
can't
was a
remember?
nightmare. That
And
was a nightmare.
let's hope that this is over quick.
I hope so. I mean, I'm just ready for it to be some kind of normalcy to something. I mean, nothing is normal at this point.
No, it's not.
Nothing. I mean, it's just horrible.
So,
but anyway,
At all costs, go out and vote today.
Really?
Get your mask. If you're worried about that, stay the 6 feet away from somebody and vote, and be proud that you're an American.
and the polls are open till
7 p.m.
p.m.
That's the way it is. All right, I'll be back in just a moment. Me and Candace will, and we'll give you an update on the weather and get your day started for you right here with Scotty, Ray, and Candace.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we head back over to weather this morning to find out what's going on, let's take a look at current temperatures this morning as we get things rolling here. As we pull radar back up, we're showing that Keyfield is pulling in this morning at 36 degrees. We've got 35 up at NAS Meridian. Starkville at the freezing mark, 32. So I'm sure that their frost is a little bit thicker, 34 at Columbus Air Force Base. As we look out, and again over here toward Tuscaloosa as you cross that state line, that's where you'll get into the frost advisory. We didn't quite get it that thick, but we did get a little bit this morning. As you start looking at this, up around Knoxville, Tennessee this morning, a freeze warning, and that's going to go all the way to Richmond, Virginia. So they'll be voting in kind of some cold weather. That's where the temperatures are. The further north you go and out to the Wyoming areas there, a little bit different with temperatures up there. So Milwaukee, look at this. You got some 28 degrees up in those areas. And this is where we're talking about Utah out here in these areas that might later today have a storm potential. So that's where we are on those particular things this morning. Not bad weather for us. Again, we're going to be in the upper 70s. And let's go ahead and pull in and get our 7-day forecast. As we've got today coming in at a high of 68, 71 tomorrow. As you go across, you'll know it just kind of eases up all the way to about 76. Some slight chances of rain move in there over the weekend with a 10% chance. Not much to it, though. But as we looked at the forecast map of our temperatures staying above average, warmer for this time of year as we're into November. Can you believe that? Boy, it's been a fast one. As we said today, a very important day when it comes to voting. I hope you'll go out and do that no matter who your candidate is. Vote. Get there. It'll be polls open until 7 o'clock in all of our counties that listen in all across the United States. Make sure to do that. Do your civic duty. And again, as we mentioned in the state of Mississippi, having those 3 referendums that are going to be coming up on the sample ballot that we've got pulled up here. I'll pull that back up here so you can see that. Of course, the state flag is going to be the last question of it. Yes, if you love this flag, a vote no on that makes the commission go back and re-vote on that. And I want to stress that voting no is not going to bring the old flag back. They've done that in the secret of darkness, and you'll never get to vote on that. You'll only get to vote on the flag that they designed, and it's yes or no on this Magnolia flag. This is the House resolution that we mentioned that would do away with electoral voting to where the House would handle a vote. If there's a tie, it'd go back to Mississippians to vote on it again. And then the third thing that's on here is about marijuana use. Are you for it or against it? The 65, and you have to vote for it. If you're voting yes, you have to vote in 2 places. If you get on here, you can vote against and be done, or you can vote yes, I want to vote for it, and then choose 65 or 65A. 65 would help people that need it for medical help. there's just all cases of it. I've heard so many people that are in the medical field say that it does help those children that are autistic that need it, people that have cancer. I don't think the state would be run over with the drugs. I don't believe that's what that is there for. So it's on the ballot, your decision, and of course the big one that everybody's talking about. You will before long not have to worry about who you're going to vote for and see ads anymore. And either that or for the Senate that plays nonstop in the state of Mississippi. It'll all go away. Woo, doggy. Won't that be a glorious day? I don't know if you had a chance to look at that video I posted on my Facebook page last night of the Oreo cookie. If you haven't watched that one yet, click on that and watch that. That's a pretty cute commercial there. So get out and vote today. As we said, today's high about 68. Again, I want to say thank you for joining me this morning and being a part of it. Here with Scotty Ray's weather.
Hurricane season is here, and like most Mississippians, you know the drill. Organize a severe weather safety kit, know how to safely use a generator, and have a plan of action to keep your family safe if a hurricane threatens. And when outages do occur, you can now report and view current outages through our free smartphone app or website at emepa.com. Remember, when storms come in, be ready if the power goes out. East Mississippi Electric Power Association is your local Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by